Welcome to the Ask Jordan podcast, answering your questions about selling on Amazon. Now, the award-winning Amazon merchant and best-selling author from Long Island, New York. Here's your host, Jordan Malik.
Hello again, this is Jordan Malik of the Ask Jordan podcast. This is our 11th podcast. The phones are on fire, people are calling in with their questions. The podcast is becoming very popular. It's not lost to me that you helped me make this podcast popular, and I've been enjoying all your feedback, and I'm glad that you're finding it useful. If some of you who are listening don't know who I am, I want to give you a redirect, a URL rather, where you can view a 6-minute video, because I'm sure some of you are listening to me and you're like, okay, who is this guy, and why is he advising about Amazon? So if you go to my web address, jordanmalik.com, that's JORDAN, M as in Michael, ALIK.com/who, all lowercase, jordanmalik.com/WHO, jordanmalik.com/who. That'll bring you right to a video that's 6 minutes long, kind of tells you who I am and my background. It's not something for me to brag about. I don't do that so you can watch video of me and hear my voice. I do that because people want to know if I'm credible and trustworthy. And I put together a 6-minute video that shows you how you can check my credibility. You can check my background. You can see if there's any negative information about me out there in terms of helping other people create incomes and new revenue streams independently. So want to thank you for listening, and also want to advise you real quick that you're going to be seeing a lot of promotional material about Amazing Selling Machine. Amazing Selling Machine is a highly hyped up program, course, system that claims to teach you how to sell on Amazon. And the reality, in my view, is that there's quite a lot of alternatives that cost a fraction of the nearly $4,000 Amazing Selling Machine price. So I have full details on that, and you'll see why I'm not recommending Amazing Selling Machine and why I'm recommending very low-cost alternatives to Amazing Selling Machine. You can get that information by going to jordanmalik.com, JORDAN, M as in Michael, ALIK. It's my first and last name together, jordanmalik.com, all lowercase, /ASM. A as in Apple, S as in Simon, M as in microphone. So every episode of AskJordan.net, that's this podcast, we answer one question from you, the Amazon seller, about selling on Amazon. If you missed any of our other podcasts, you can go to AskJordan.net, where you can instantly listen or download them or find them on iTunes. Again, we're kind of rocketing up the charts on iTunes because of you. And thank you very much. Now, you can get 7 of my best-selling ebooks if your question is answered on this podcast. So, at the end of this podcast, in just a few minutes, I'll tell you exactly how to submit your question. It's easy, and it's free to be answered. So, our question today is from Eddie. Go ahead, Eddie.
Hey, Jordan. My name's Eddie. I have a question as it relates to taxes and selling on Amazon FBA. Obviously, any business that sells products has to pay sales tax to the government come tax time, and that's usually recouped by charging the customer sales tax. How does it apply to those selling on Amazon FBA? I live in California, and so I know the tax laws are probably different here than they are in other places. But just wondering what it is that we need to do as far as beginning our process of selling an FBA and taxes. Do we need to apply for a sales tax license? What are the things that we need to do as it relates to taxes to make sure that we are set up and that we don't get into any trouble come tax time? So appreciate your answer. Thanks.
Okay, Eddie, I'm not an expert on taxes nor on sales tax. I'm going to give you 2 resources that are going to get you started in the right direction. Both of these resources are free. Okay, so get a pen ready. If you're driving, don't write. Just pull over or say at a safe spot or wait till you get home and re-listen to this podcast. So, Eddie is referring to, before I get into those resources, Eddie is referring to a couple things. One is, do you have to collect sales tax for purchases made, the purchases the customer makes on Amazon.com? And generally, in general cases, from what I know, the answer is no, because Amazon will collect that sales tax for the applicable state where the customer is. But this gets more complicated when you start talking about Nexus tax, when technically you as the vendor, you as the merchant on Amazon.com or on eBay, have to pay a smaller sales tax for wherever the Amazon fulfillment center is. And that's a sales tax that's payable to the respective state. Okay, so if your nearest Amazon fulfillment center where you've been sending things, or any fulfillment center where your products are going, some of you have like stuff that's being sent to like 10 different fulfillment centers, technically you are required to pay a small sales tax. It's not, I don't think it's the full state sales tax. It's a portion of it. And these literally amount to like dollars overall for, X hundred amount of products. It's not a lot, it's not a huge amount of money. It's called Nexus tax. So if your products are in, I don't know, I'm just going to randomly name the states, and I don't know which ones they are. I'm going to give you resources to find that. But let's say you have products in Wisconsin, Delaware, the Wisconsin FBA Fulfillment Warehouse, Delaware Fulfillment Warehouse, California Fulfillment Warehouse, and you're in, Florida, you have to pay, technically, you are required to pay the Nexus sales tax for each of those states. Now, if you want to do that, I'm not an expert on this, but if you want to abide by the rules strictly and not leave anything to chance, then you want to learn how to pay the Nexus tax. And it's there's tools that have appeared that make it relatively a lot easier now. So let me give you the links, Eddie. First one is called FBA sales tax. FBA as in fulfillment by Amazon, the word sales, plural, S as in snake, A as in apple, L as in lily, E as in elephant, S as in Sam, tax, T as in Thomas, A as in apple, X.com, FBAsalestax.com. Now keep in mind that's a site that's all about Amazon FBA sales tax. There's a lot of free information on there, but it's run by a company called TaxJar, and they will obviously promote their service to you. Not exactly what their service does, but it helps make this process easier. Also, the person that I look to the most for people who are inquiring about the Nexus tax and handling sales tax for any e-commerce business is Kat Simpson. I'm going to redirect you to a document that she did with another company called Outright. And Outright also Outright is a company that also claims to help you, and they're a reputable company, help you sort out the tax issue. And that redirect to that PDF document online that you can download and print if you want or just read is bit.ly. That's a redirect. B as in boy, I as in ice cream, T as in tricycle, dot, L as in lily, Y as in yellow, / KS tax. K as in kryptonite, S as in super, T as in Thomas, A as in apple, X, bit.ly / KS tax. That will also give you a rundown of exactly how Kat Simpson, who's kind of like a leader in this space of handling sales tax, she gives a rundown of how she manages it and gives you some direction there. So that's the first thing I would tell you to do. After you have read that information yourself and you understand it, I recommend that you get an accountant. Okay? Your accountant does not have to be e-commerce savvy. Your accountant has to be a good accountant. Or a CPA. I have a CPA. Okay? So you want to be able to get an accountant and be able to go over this material with him or her and make sure that they're doing a lot of these steps for you. That is, provided that you have the financials to do that. An accountant is not super expensive. So I recommend anybody that's doing over $20,000 in sales, and you start taking this Nexus stuff super seriously by hiring an accountant to help you manage your sales tax payables, how to manage your books, how to match up your costs to your receivables, how to match up your costs with your revenues, and start doing things like as a corporation would. So I highly recommend you ask your friends who own businesses. They don't have to be. My CPA is not a e-commerce person at all. She likes things an old-fashioned way, but that's okay because, e-commerce or not, revenues come in one spreadsheet, costs come in another, the bank statement comes in another. It's all the same, whether it's an e-commerce company or a deli, right? A deli store. So I want you to seriously consider getting an accountant to help you with that filing, so you don't have to do it because it's going to be eating up a lot of your time. And when you're done with that, also consider getting a virtual assistant to help you. I shouldn't say that. I should say get a virtual assistant if your accountant only wants to do the higher level stuff, and the lower level stuff of compiling your books or submitting the forms to pay the sales tax in every state is too much of like a low-level grunt work for your accountant or CPA, then consider hiring a virtual assistant. And that's what I do for a lot of the lower-level tasks that I already know how to do myself. I then train a virtual assistant. That's somebody who's typically in the Philippines, is perfectly legal, perfectly ethical. I have several virtual assistants that I've hired to manage different parts of my business, and one of them is for the general bookkeeping and consolidation of financials to prepare for my accountant. I've hired a virtual assistant. A low-cost, highly recommended book on the practice, which is very simple, and the cost, which is very inexpensive, of hiring a virtual assistant, can be found at this redirect, bit.ly, bit.ly/virtualjm, all lowercase. That's B as in boy, I as in ice cream, T as in Thomas, .l as in Lily, Y as in yellow, /virtual, right? V as in velocity, I as in ice cream, R as in railroad, T as in Thomas, U as in underneath, A as in apple, L as in Lily, J as in Joker, M as in motorcycle, bit.ly/virtualjm. Thanks, Eddie, for that question. I hope that helps you. Eddie gets 7 of my best-selling ebooks about selling on Amazon and eBay. Their total retail price is over $75. Eddie gets them for free. Eddie, please contact me at AskJordan.net. Click on the little envelope icon near the upper right-hand corner under the Contact Me section of AskJordan.net. Send me an email so I know where to send the ebooks to. If you, the listener, if you have a question about selling on Amazon you'd like answered, well, go to AskJordan.net or call 516-619 online. That's 516-619-6654. If I pick your question to answer, like I picked Eddie's, you'll get 7 of my best-selling ebooks, including the $47 Resell Toys Guide, something you'll want whether you sell on eBay or Amazon for this spring and summer because it's yard sale season. The Resell Toys Guide will help you. The total price for all those ebooks is over $75. You get them free, and you get to hear your voice on my podcast. Now, while you're at AskJordan.net, please subscribe to my free newsletter for Amazon and eBay sellers. I give away a ton of free info that will help you create more profits and higher sales. And you can go to AskJordan.net to get that newsletter. Scroll down to the right-hand side where you see a little sign-up form. Hey, thanks for listening to the Ask Jordan podcast. We'll be back again with a new episode.